Members. The other night, PBS, our local station, had something on Alzheimer's, which I expected they were really running ahead and getting far ahead. They know what they're doing. They almost have the cure. What I saw, they don't have a cure. They are testing tens of thousands of people to find out memory loss, or better, when their gene, the Alzheimer's gene, is activated, and they really have big troubles. And they get them when they're young. Anybody over 65, that gene can pop up. And we all have it. I inherited my gene, Alzheimer's gene, from my parents, who had inherited it from their parents, who inherited it from generations back. All my that would make all my aunts, uncles, and cousins have the Alzheimer's gene. Yet, um, like most or many diseases, just because I have the gene doesn't mean I'm going to get it. Um, my parents started getting their Alzheimer's gene started getting activated when they were in their mid 80s, and hopefully my gene will not be activated until I'm in my mid 90s or more. And they said, well, they're looking for a cure. It's not the cure that I'm looking for. It's the way to keep my Alzheimer's gene from turning on. And I have noticed that other people, well, yeah, my sister has Alzheimer's or has Alzheimer's gene. She doesn't have Alzheimer's. But after watching our parents die, that was pretty bad. My father, um, when he had time, and a time that between working, would sing in the Lyric Opera in Chicago. He carried a spear. Okay? Um, and he could play the piano quite well, and the guitar and other musical instruments. And he loved Gilbert and Sullivan um, playing music. And he would be in his apartment, and people throughout his apartment would hear him play Gilbert and Sullivan and other popular songs that he learned. And then one day, um, he's he leaves a pot of beans on the electric stove. Guess he forgot about it. Well, the smoke alarms didn't forget about it because it woke up the whole place. And then we figured it was time for him to go to the old folks home, a nursing home, yeah, which is old folks home, yeah. And he went there, and he brought his big grand white up piano. Why did he have a white piano? Why were having a black or brown? No, he had a white one, and he brought it to the rec room. And while he was there, he would do the same thing. He would sit there and play popular music, songs, and everything else. And Gilbert and Sullivan. One day he's playing, and he stops midway. They said it's like he changed color. Oh, I mean, he literally changed color. And he grabbed his head and said, he, he grabbed his head. He stood up, walked a few things, and took a nosedive, ready to flop. He hit his head against a table, and they call the EMT. There was a hospital across the street, so they bring him over there. They do I guess, a PET scan or a CAT scan of his brain, and they literally do not see activity. It's like he's not here, he's not there. but he was still breathing. So they rush him to a VA hospital, and for the next 2 weeks they have him in ICU. He's breathing, and he's bloating, and he's bloating. And then they pulled the plug, and it took him 8 hours for his heart to stop with him dead. Great. Our mother, on the other hand, knew what was happening. She knew what was happened to her. She had older siblings, and those older siblings contracted they lived long enough to get Alzheimer's, and she would call their children and find out, hey, how's my sister doing, or how's my brother doing, and they would describe him. Oh yes, he's here sometimes, and he's not here other times, and the body functions are start shutting off. He's having a hard time remembering our names, events, the same thing. Well, my mother was, to me, was very active. She used to go canoeing, and she lived in. She moved down to Florida. My parents were divorced, so we moved down to Florida, and she used to go kayaking on Atlantic Ocean. What? Really? Oh yeah, so the kayak club, and they go kayaking on the Atlantic Ocean, which is not exactly a yes, but she started losing it. Um, so she would forget things. Um, I would give her a phone call, and we'd talk for an hour and ask her about her kayaking. Oh, I don't do that anymore. I lost my paddle. Okay. How are you doing in chess? Oh, okay. Means that she's not winning. Um, how's your husband doing? And that is an interesting one. She came north, okay, and left her husband. They were supposed to come north together for vacation. And she said she got up here and, well, where's your husband? Oh, he's down there. He's in the backyard. I called him in yesterday for breakfast and he didn't come in. I called him for lunch. He didn't come in. I called him for dinner last night. He didn't come in. And I called him again for breakfast this morning. He was out there all night. I guess he's pouting. Oh, interesting. Okay, mother. So, uh, my sister calls the local police station and do a wellness check on my mother's husband. And they call back and says, "Yep, he's there in the back. He's still there, bloating. He's dead." Oh, okay, okay. And natural causes, yeah, heart attack. So she goes with my sister down there, and they go into the house, and it's moldy. And why? The windows are left open and it rained. Ouch. So my brother-in-law's construction, so he goes down there and fixes the place up, and she packs up her bags, and she moves into the local Marriott um, nursing home. And then when she's ready to come north, she comes into that thing, and she goes into a series of nursing homes. And each nursing home, you get less and less space to be in. And her last space was in Lutheran home, and it was the last time I saw her, physically saw her, she was in a wheelchair, and I would visit her every week, and she got worse each time. You know, it's to the point is that they put them in wheelchairs so they don't wander around the place or out the door. If they could figure out how to open the door or how to use the elevator, um, they basically put them in wheelchairs and they can wheel around if they're able to. But the last time I saw my mother, it was she was in a wheelchair and we were talking, talking, and talking, and yeah, talking. I never mentioned that her husband died. I never mentioned to her that her husband died in Florida, and I never mentioned that my father, her past husband, died. It's one of those things you do not want to give a person that has Alzheimer's any bad information. But talking to her and everything else, and the staff member, nurse, comes over and said, "So how's your son doing?" "My son?" she says. "Yes, this is your son." "Oh, hi, Richard. How are you doing?" "Okay." "Wow." I said, "Oh, yes." "How's my cat doing?" "Pretty good. Yes, yes. Your cat's doing wonderful. Yes." Snapped in. "Oh, yes, your sister's going to be coming to see me." My sister was there 5 minutes before I was there. Yeah, yeah. But uh, the next time I saw her, there was a cold and everything else, and her mind was really slipping. I mean, really slipping. And there was orders not to. She put orders into not to. If her heart stops, not to revive her, because she knew medical experience. She knew it. She saw her children or her brothers and sisters, and then she went to hospice, and she would wake up, look around, go back to sleep, wake up, go back to sleep, and she died on a Sunday morning at 4:25 a.m. And oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a nice little wake and funeral, and a lot of her members from the congregation were there, and we got to talking about their relatives, their parents, how are they doing? Some have Alzheimer's and some don't. A brother or two may have Alzheimer's, beginning Alzheimer's, or they won't. It's rough. It is very rough to see this, to to see they're still trying to figure out how to stop the Alzheimer's gene from turning on. They better. So far, we got over 15 million people in the United States that have Alzheimer's. That's expensive. And we're doomed for the next 10 years to add another 5 million or more. Yeah. And the drugs, they've got the one for Alzheimer's, they've got a pill to make a person to remember more, but it costs $1,000 a week. And Medicare says, we're not going to cover that. No, no way, no way. That would break the bank very, very fast. So unless they can figure out how to shut off that my Alzheimer's or keep it off so it never goes on, I'm doomed. My sister's doomed. Her children are doomed. Her grandchildren are doomed, and their grandchildren are all doomed. Uh huh. It is a big, big thing. And it's not only making sure it never goes on. Can you help those who already have Alzheimer's? The 15 million people. Can you shut that gene off? Can you bring them back? You might say, or are they all doomed to not even know what poop is? All right. See you later. Bye. Oh, it's on the internet. Afterlife. Um, page. Bye.